Hey everyone, Mark from Pocket Gamer here. So, Angry Birds 2 has been announced. Yes, we know, there have already been at least 15 million different Angry Birds games, featuring the birds in space and Rio de Janeiro and the worlds of Star Wars and Transformers in every season except Hanukkah. But that's what Rovio is calling it, and they're hoping it's going to be a big deal, or at least remind us that we care about Angry Birds before the movie comes out next summer. Or that thing's going to sink like a brick. Anyway, the game is out next week, but we've got a theory. We reckon you can play it right now, as long as you've got yourself a Canadian App Store account. You see, earlier this year, Rovio quietly released a game on the Canadian App Store called Angry Birds Under Pigstruction, and it was quite interesting. It's a back-to-basic Angry Birds game where you fire birds at pigs, but with loads of visual polish. You get to see levels come to life, there are loads of explosions, and everything is animated and juicy. There is, however, quite a lot of free-to-play stuff, including purchasable power-ups, a shop full of gems, and that old favourite, an energy system. Anyway, our theory, if you hadn't guessed by now, is that Angry Birds Under Pigstruction is secretly Angry Birds 2, and that isn't just a wild guess. For starters, check out the icon for Under Pigstruction, and then this artwork for Angry Birds 2. It's the exact same picture of old Red the Red Bird. And who's this unfamiliar face on the Angry Birds 2 artwork? She's called Silver, and she is a playable character in Under Pigstruction. She does dive bombs, she's pretty cool. Convinced? Well, if so, what this means is that you can get a quick look at what Angry Birds 2 will be like just by watching our hands-on video, which we'll put a link to in the description below. Or you can play it yourself just by making a Canadian App Store account, which we'll show you how to do, like, right flippin' now. First things first, you need a new email address. If you haven't got a spare one, just make a free one on Gmail, and don't worry too much about the details, just enter enough stuff to get it set up. Next, open iTunes on your Mac or PC. In the bottom right hand corner, you'll find a tiny flag of your country. Give that sucker a click. Scroll down the list of countries and pick Canada. Now, and this bit is important, try to download a free app or game from the Canadian App Store. A window will pop up asking for your account details. From here, click Create Apple ID. Agree to the terms and conditions and then provide your details. Pop in that email address you just made and pick a password, some security questions and a date of birth. On the next screen, you'll get to choose your payment method. Because we were just trying to get a free app, we can now choose none, so do so. For your billing address, you'll need to find a Canadian address. My strategy for this is to type something like Toronto Bakery into Google, find some random Canadian business and borrow their address. Don't worry, Apple won't send them anything, you'll be fine. When you're done, hit Create Apple ID. You just have to verify it with your email address and then you're done. You now have a Canadian account. So open up the App Store on your iPhone or iPad, hit your username at the bottom of the page and click Log Out. Log back in as your new Canadian alias and when prompted, say yes to switching to the App Store of the Great White North. Now you can download free apps from Canada to your heart's content, including Angry Birds Pigstruction, Wonga. Let us know how you get on in the comments below and your thoughts on this game. Plus, do you believe this is going to be Angry Birds 2? We want to know what you think.